The Lethbridge Hurricanes training camp gets underway this week. The Canes open their camp on Thursday, but returning players from last year's team have been back in the city since the weekend. They've already been skating, and today they are going through fitness testing. The training camp gets into full swing on Thursday with veterans hitting the ice at 9 a.m. There's an orientation for players and parents in the afternoon, followed by on-ice testing. Scrimmages go all Friday and Saturday and Sunday mornings, with all sessions open to the public. Team Canada's men's hockey team will have many new faces from the team that won the gold for the team in Vancouver, but the two that weren't there are from the Lightning. It's a veteran and a young star, and they are hoping to be part of the team to defend the gold in Sochi, Russia in February. TSN's Farhan Lalji has more.
When Marty St. Louis and Steve Stamkos got the news 4 years ago that they would not be playing for Team Canada at the Vancouver Olympics, it was not an easy day.
Yeah, it was disappointing. Obviously, you want to be on a team anytime you get a chance to represent your country at a level like that. I'm not going to sit here and say I was happy about watching them win gold, but at the same time, I was 19 years old, and there were so many good players.
It made for a couple of challenging conversations a few months later when the man who kept them off the team, Steve Yzerman, was named GM of the Lightning.
Yeah, that was probably the first thing that we talked about. I told him you'd have probably a tougher time explaining to Marty why he wasn't on the team than me.
We talked about that early on when he got the job, and there's nothing he could have told me that it would change how I felt, And I was glad that they hired him, because I knew that he can make tough decisions, and that's what you need as a leader.
Both Stamkos and St. Louis used their Olympic disappointment as motivation, finishing 5th and 6th in NHL scoring that season, the highest scoring non-Olympians. Since then, Stamkos has dominated the NHL offensively with 150 goals, 40 more than the next closest player. Other than Crosby and Taves, Stamkos is as close as Canada has to a lock for this team.
I think it's very fair. I mean, Stammer is one of the elite players in this league, so I would take him on my team.
I did have a good year personally that year, and you just try to use it as motivation.
If selected, at 38, St. Louis would be the oldest NHL-era Olympian ever to play for Canada. He hears about his age now, just like he heard about his size during his first couple of seasons. St. Louis says that once he stopped selling himself short, he took a step in his career, and having already won a Stanley Cup, he wants to finish things with a better Olympic memory.
In 2006, we didn't do very well, and I was left off in 10. So to be on that, if I could be on that team and hopefully win a gold medal, it would be kind of, how it kind of all went for me, I guess, too, like at the beginning, not being drafted and everything, and just fighting through and, just keep knocking on the door.
It was billed as the Battle of the Sexes. 40 years ago, millions tuned in and they saw Billie Jean King play a tennis match against Bobby Riggs. Her victory was seen as a big step forwards towards equality for women in sport, and now a report suggests Riggs may have thrown the match to pay off his gambling debts. Gio Benitez has more.
It was more than a showdown. It was a spectacle.
Live from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, the tennis battle of the sexes, Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs.
Millions watched as 55-year-old retired tennis star Bobby Riggs entered the Astrodome in September of 1973.
I'm Howard Cosell. We're delighted to be able to bring you this very, very quaint, unique event.
Riggs planned to crush the young female Wimbledon champ Billie Jean King.
And it's been a night, I think, that was not expected by most.
But when the dust settled, King had won, proving, yes, a woman could beat a man on the tennis court. But now, in an ESPN Outside the Lines exclusive, this man, Hal Shaw, says it was all a fix, that Riggs owed the mob more than $100,000 and worked with mobsters to throw the match. Shaw was an assistant golf pro at a Florida country club. He says months before the match, he overheard two infamous mobsters.
They brought up the name of Bobby Riggs, and Riggs had assured him that he would go in the tank and he'll make it look and appear that he's trying his best, but Billie Jean King is just overwhelming him.
ESPN's Don Van Netta interviewed Shaw.
I looked in his eyes. I heard him tell the story multiple times. The details were always the same. I was not going to move forward with this story unless I believed him to be someone who was absolutely credible.
In an interview with ESPN, King disputes that account.
I would bet my life that Bobby never had that discussion with him.
Well, one of the things that we
Bobby
learned
doesn't get involved with mobsters.
Not true, says Riggs' son.
Did he know Mafia guys? Absolutely. Is it possible that they talked to him about doing it? Possible.
Interesting, but we'll never know.
True.
Sports, Jackie.